Hello everyone. This is a YouTube about ex-Jehovah Witnesses. The title is gonna be Ex-Jehovah Witnesses Need Ex-Jehovah Witnesses. And the reason why I'm doing this one is because recently I was going through my comments and I think I didn't miss it or something. I must have missed it or something. Anyway, I read it over again because I do other videos, dance about music, and I do things on art and different things. And another one I'm doing is becoming a master viewer of art. But anyway, I was looking through all my comments on the Jehovah Witness ones, which I haven't done that many of, and I saw this one comment, and it was about ex-Jehovah Witnesses, and the comment said, you should come to this channel, this website. It was the Ex-Jehovah Witness website. But he said it, and I've been out for a while, out of the organization for a while. And this guy, I can't say guy, Ex-Jehovah Witness, but I feel so close to, the Ex-Jehovah Witness community because I was, of course, a Jehovah Witness. And I thought he made me think, and somebody who's been in your position can really identify with you. Evidently, he or she had seen a lot of my videos, my YouTubes, and he said, "I want you to come. I want you to visit the site or be part of the site." And I was thinking to myself, and I go, "But I do YouTube." But then he said something as if it was very important. It was something, I got to read it over again, but it sparked an interest because he goes, "Make sure you do." Oh yeah, I wrote him a comment back. I wrote him a comment back saying, "Okay, yeah, when I get time, I'm gonna do it." And then he goes, and I think it was a while since I had wrote him, the first comment, and he goes, he or she, I'm not really sure. And it's funny because I want to say it was a brother or a sister, but I want to hold that point because I want to say something about that too, brother and sister. Um, and he goes, it's very important, you know. And I go to myself, and it made me think, and I said, why is this important? And I went flash through everything as far as, is this important? And I go, yes. And I said, why is it important? Because I was thinking to myself, trying to figure out this, the way he said it. And I said to myself, yes, it is important. And it made me think about how important the ex-Jehovah Witnesses videos and YouTubes are to other ex-Jehovah Witnesses. It's almost a necessity. And I want to make this one, that's why I'm making this YouTube saying that, ex-Jehovah Witnesses need ex-Jehovah Witnesses, because it made me think so much. And then I thought about a lot of things, and I organized this YouTube. And first I want to begin off by saying I remember that I'm telling you what it's about. I just did this introduction, and that's what this whole thing is going to be about, this whole YouTube. And the first point I want to make is I remember when I had an aunt. Most of our family was Jehovah Witness. Grew up in a very young age as a Jehovah Witness. Since I was maybe like 5 or so, very, very young. And my family became very, can I say devout, or just very into the organization. But I had one aunt that never accepted, the teachings, and never became a Jehovah's Witness at all. She celebrated Christmas and everything, and she was the only aunt. She's the only one in our family that didn't. But sometimes we would have get-togethers at our house at like a funeral or something like that, and everybody would come to her house. Now, I think her son had passed away. That's right, my cousin. And we all gathered at her house, and I remember this is in New York, Buffalo, New York, and I remember going up the stairs during the during the I can't say it's a wake, I guess, to where everybody they eat and everything like that, and just associate together as a family. And I remember going upstairs to use the bathroom, and upstairs all of the ex-jehovah, I mean the ones in our family that were just fellowshipped, because we had a few that was just fellowship, maybe two, and then maybe two or three, I'm not sure. But the whole family would get together, and the disfellowshipped ones couldn't be with the ones that were were in the organization. Although she was never a Jehovah Witness, but they couldn't be in the same room as we were. So, I mean, it's I don't know how in the world, how Jehovah Witness, how we just used to just figure out things and just do them. We don't ask questions. They just felt like they had to not be with the rest of the family, and I guess because their mother was a Jehovah Witness too. So their mother, my aunt, was a Jehovah Witness. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is when I went up the stairs and I went to use the bathroom, and they were like in the hallways and just peeking in at me or whatever, and saying something like nice, But I stopped, and I said, and I thought how gross, how terrible of a situation that was. I mean, it went through my mind. I was very young, and how just because they disagreed or they were disfellowshipped or something inside the organization, they had to stay upstairs and just they couldn't even face me, and I remember feeling I didn't feel bad for them. I mean, I wanted to talk to them or whatever, but I remember them just like saying something like nice to me, you know and that's what I remember as far as me as a Jehovah Witness shunning, I guess. I mean, forced to shun, my brothers, my cousins. And I always will remember the feeling I felt when I went, when I went upstairs and I saw them. They couldn't even look at me. They were like kind of joking or something in the hallway or in the room that they were in or whatever. And it was just really sad, They didn't come out and say, "How are you doing?" Such and such and such. And that really touched me. And I also remember when I put in this when I put it in one of my former videos and one of my former earlier YouTubes. When I got disfellowshipped, I remember going back. I was married, and I went back with my ex-wife to one of the meetings, and I was so well popular. I mean, very popular, because I used to do the assemblies and stuff like that. And the people and my friends loved me so much. I sat down on an aisle seat, and they started coming to talk to me. It's just so I've never seen anything like it. It was so weird. And I remember one. Now I want to say sister and stuff like that, but I guess I can say one ex-sister was like in front of me, and she goes, "Long time no see." And I didn't even know who she was, but I would always, when I was Jehovah's Witness, I would always meet people who knew me, and I didn't know them, because I used to do a lot. I went to the Spanish congregation. I went to a lot of different congregations. I was in assemblies and stuff like that, and they sat in front of me. A few of them sat in front of me. They sat behind me, and I saw one guy who I went to school with, one friend that I went to school with, and he never got baptized, but his whole family was Jehovah Witness. But I went to school with him, and he did whatever he wanted to do. And I looked at him, and he could not shun me. So he came up to me, and he says, "Hi, how are you doing?" I said, "I'm all right." And I couldn't remember that, but then my stepfather stepped in because he was like upset. And he came to me and he goes, I said this story in my earlier videos. He goes, you know, you're not supposed to talk to the people. I wasn't even talking to them. They came and talked to me, and I closed my ears, and they thought that was a big deal. I didn't want to talk to him at all because it was just, that's another story. Those are my earlier videos, but what I was saying, what I'm trying to say is I remember that feeling of those people, friends that loved me, you know. And what I'm trying to, the point I'm trying to make is when we left the Jehovah Witnesses, we um, we left a lot of those feelings. I mean, we cut them off. And like, have you ever thought about the friends that you had that you can't even think about? And you have beautiful times and you say, I'm not going to even think about that and just forget about it, you know? But yet, I'm trying to say that they did exist. They were like very important to us, but we had to cut them off. We had to sever all of our beautiful memories of the things that happened to us and our friends because we didn't agree with or we got disfellowship or we left the organization. I also have a cousin who, I mean, she was a Jehovah Witness, and this is from deep thinking. This is what this one, I don't know why I want to say brother, he would be a real brother. I'm an ex and he's an ex, so he would be my brother, and the ones in the Jehovah Witnesses would be my ex brothers and sisters. And that's one point I want to bring up, but I'm gonna bring it up in a little bit. But I want to tell you about my cousin. We were so close. I remember when I was in grammar school, and nobody wanted to talk to me. I had thick glasses, and I didn't even know that I was outgoing. But you know, I didn't have any friends or anything. My sister was very outgoing. I didn't realize that I was outgoing at that point in time. And she got on the bus, and nobody would talk to me because everybody had their friends, and I had thick glasses, and I would sit down. And it was her last year. Her last year in school. I'm not going to explain how the school was. It was her last. Anyway, it went from 1 to 8th grade. I mean, kindergarten to 8th grade. And it was her last year. So she was in 8th grade. But we had came to the school late or something like that, so I wasn't going to see her too much. And it was Linda, and this is in Buffalo, New York. And I sat on the bus, and she saw me, and I saw her. And I think I don't know what grade I was in, maybe 5th or 6th, something like that. And she was in 8th grade. And I don't know, maybe 6th. I don't know. I don't think we were that far apart. But I know that she wasn't there that long. And she looked at me and she started talking to me like we were just friends. I mean, this is my cousin, you know, but as far as cousins go, I mean, they were like, you know, how you have the levels in the Jehovah's Witnesses to where you have the people who are just normal and then you have these high class. But anyway, she was up on the level and she was talking to me and we became very good friends. And we would just, when I would visit her, we ended up moving to another state, but and every time we would get together, if she would come down to where I lived, which was Virginia, I was working and I would come and like they had come to visit us in our house, and I got home late, and I explained to her, I said, I'm getting home late, but we would always go to like a breakfast place, and we would eat breakfast. I don't care what time it was when we would get together, when we would see each other. And I remember going to the house one time, and I knocked on the door where the girls were sleeping, and she came out dressed, and we went and drove to like a pancake house or something like that, and we would sit and we would talk. We loved each other so much. Anyway, I remember, and then I left the Jehovah's Witnesses, and then It's been a long time. And time has passed so much, I never heard anything from her. And what I'm trying to say, that was just like severed. It was like, do we realize what we do in our mind as ex-Jehovah Witnesses, what we have to do? We actually sever these things. And I remember sitting with my brother. Now, I have a brother, one of my brothers who was disfellowshipped, and I visit him, okay? So I remember visiting him, this is a long time ago, and we were all sitting down with my nieces and him, and we talked a little about Linda, and he goes, and I just have the beautiful feeling about Linda, but I never think of anything about, I just cut everything about how we used to interact and everything. It's just something else what we have to do when we leave this organization. And it's very important. It's a part of our life. And I don't know. I think I should comb my hair at least. Anyway, I'm here. Okay. I'm just looking at this thing. I mean, I should be a little bit presentable too. You know what I mean? I just want to be a little bit presentable. But anyway, so I was like, we were sitting at the table. I was telling you, my brother, we went to this restaurant, and we were talking a little bit about Linda. And somebody was saying, because she was sickly, I don't know what sickness she had, but anyway, they were saying that she passed away or something like that. But I couldn't handle it. I mean, I didn't even really, to me, it was like, no, she's not gone. But the thing about it is I can't even, like, right now know how important she was to me. You know what I mean? I don't, I mean, I did something that I don't even realize to just dissolve this beautiful relationship that I have with my cousin. You know, it's really, really deep, and it's really, really sad. But there's something that we do as ex-Jehovah Witness that we have to do, and that's just one person. And to this day, I still just know Linda as just this beautiful thing, and I can't even phantom that she's gone or anything. It's very important to me. And I remember another thing. I went to her house one time, and it was time when they were talking about the records. You're not supposed to debase music. And I took all my albums and I was going to get rid of them. I don't know why, but I went to her house, and I remember her saying, "Well, don't throw this album away. I want this or I want that." I remember maybe think she took a Journey album or something like that. But that's what I wanted to state about that. How we as ex-Jehovah Witnesses have to just. I mean, I don't know what I did with all those beautiful memories of her, and it's not just her, but it's other people that I had in that organization. We almost view them as if they didn't exist or they're nothing. So that's one thing that we have to do. And there's another thing that I want to mention. Okay, I mentioned the one about my mother who passed away, and that was a long one, and that's a beautiful one to me. So I'm not going to mention about that, but my brother passed away just recently. He's my older brother. And now things are getting serious. I mean, it's like, first they told me that he had cancer, but he never talked to me. I mean, I'm not going to talk about the rest of my brothers and sisters, but I'm going to talk about him because, it has to be. I did talk about my other brothers and sisters earlier, but not how they are now. So I couldn't feel anything. You know what I mean? It's something that we do. I mean, I couldn't muster or something like that, or any kind of feelings, because I never talked to him. I mean, he go through this whole life, And it's been like 30 years. I have a sister that I haven't talked to in 40 years. And another point I want to make real quick, that you can be out of the organization for as long as I have, but it's just like it happened yet. I'm not like it happened yesterday, but it stays new with you. This not being a Jehovah Witness, this ex-Jehovah Witness. It doesn't feel like I'm saying, it's something so present that it never gets old. It's never like something that you did long time ago, because you have to carry it with you all the time. You remember it all the time. And it's like what I'm saying about my brother, okay? I never talked to him. He never talked to me after I left the Jehovah Witnesses. Not a word, okay? Then he got sick, and there was nothing I could think. You know what I mean? I couldn't even say a prayer. It was just so strange. And that's something I had to do as a Jehovah Witness. I guess, I don't know if I did it the right way, but I did it that way. Then my sister called, she's a Jehovah Witness, and she called me. And she said that Daryl had passed away. I'll actually dedicate this one to Daryl. I mean, since I'm talking about him. And I always called him Daryl, even though his name was Daryl. I always pronounce it the wrong way. But she told me that he passed away. And the only thing I could think of is all this time just wasted, just 30 years, 33 years you don't talk to a person, and then they call me and say, and she goes, he loves you. And I go, did he tell you that? I don't know if it was the right thing for me to say. And then I said something about, which was, I know that she's going to tell everybody in the organization. I said the typical not agreeing with the religion. I go, you're going to stay with your Jehovah. And she goes, yes, I'm going to stay with it. She goes, she goes, something about, I'm going to stay with it. But that's all I needed to say, but that's all I felt was, you're going to stay with the Jehovah? I mean, you talk all this time, and, and then you call me and tell me somebody died. I mean, and no, you call me and tell me that Daryl loves you. But, why would she say that? And I thought that was cruel. I was being cruel, and I thought that she was being cruel. Because you go through all this whole time. That's why I'm saying it's new, because it's like every day they don't talk to you, So it doesn't ever get old, So I was saying, like, there was nothing that they could do. I mean, every day, nothing to say hello. How can you say that you love someone, which maybe it's possible, but you don't get any feeling to call them or say hi or say something to them at all? I mean, I know some Jehovah's Witnesses do not do that to their family. I know that for a fact, okay? I think I even have an aunt that would never do that, but she would follow some of the rules, but she still wouldn't do it that far. But a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses do. Most of them do. So I was thinking, like, what is this love that they're talking about? And then I was saying that, I mean, I had to try and see some kind of way. And I know that they're like brainwashed. I would have to say that. I don't know. So that's one point that I have to continually think about, is how someone can, because I even have a sister I haven't seen like in 40 years because she was out of state. And I remember someone who had a chance to see her in her house, one of my nieces, because she wasn't baptized. And she was saying, I love my brothers and sisters, but I love Jehovah more, okay? So that's what her mindset is, okay? Very intelligent people too, and they think like that. So that's something that's still on my mind that I have to think about, So the point I'm trying to make in this video is, like I said, your ex-Jehovah Witnesses need ex-Jehovah Witnesses. It was just brought to my attention by one of the comments. The reason why I said this is because you remember one thing that we never ever talk about. I haven't seen it in any of the ex-Jehovah Witnesses videos. Remember when we were Jehovah Witnesses, everybody was brother and sister. We go to assembly and we had that kind of feeling everybody was brothers and sisters. And we could go anywhere and get in touch with a brother or a sister, and they would be our brother and sister. And then what made me think about when they did the comment is that ex-Jehovah Witnesses, I mean, we never think about that. We never think about the fact that when we left Jehovah Witnesses, the ex-Jehovah Witnesses still remained our brothers and sisters. I mean, I'm not just talking about brother and sister like you talk about friends, like brother and sister. It's something that a part of their teaching or a part of their brainwashing that I don't know if it's part of the brainwashing or I can't. This one is really, really complex. For us, when we're Jehovah Witnesses, we inside this world. And then when we come out, away from our brothers and sisters, we don't realize that we still have brothers and sisters because they're ex-brothers and sisters like we are. And then I was thinking about, because at work, which is not common, every so often I meet someone who was an ex-Jehovah Witness. I met one when I was in Houston, Texas, and the I don't know what it is, the feeling that I had is just something else. It's like this, some kind of feeling, which this is what I'm trying to figure out, okay, and I'm going to continue. And then I was at work, I had this new job here, and where I'm living now, and let me see, and I was talking to this one guy, and he was telling, because I was new at the job, and then one time I said, you know, I used to be a Jehovah Witness, you know, because I moved back to where I used to live, so I'm in the same area. And I was talking to him, and he goes, and he left, and he goes, Wichcom was an ex-Jehovah Witness. And then he came back, the other guy came back and started talking to me, and he was an ex-Jehovah Witness too. And the kind of feeling that, I don't know what it is. That's what I'm trying to figure out now. So that's why I'm saying that ex-Jehovah Witnesses need ex-Jehovah Witnesses. Because of the fact that we tear out these friendships that we have that we can't even think about because they were destroyed, and we don't even go into them, you know, but yet we come out of this organization, and there's the weird thing about it is there's still these brothers and sisters that are ex-Jehovah Witnesses, but we still, how can I explain it? I mean, I need help. Maybe somebody could help me out to explain this, or maybe I'll do another YouTube on it. But this is what I'm thinking about now, is that we need each other because we all were Jehovah Witnesses and we were brothers and sisters. We don't have the Jehovah Witnesses because we're ex-Jehovah Witnesses, but still and yet, out here, we do have the brothers and sisters. So I think that's the feeling, that connection that we have is so genuine, so real, you know. And I think that's something that we need each other, because the reason why I said we need each other, okay, first of all, there's 2 points. The one point is that we really believed, or we did have that pleasure of having brothers and sisters all over the place. But even though we left the Jehovah Witnesses, we still have that because there's ex-Jehovah Witnesses everywhere. I mean, all over the place. Okay, we just have to connect with them. So that's one point I want to say. And the help that we give each other is the fact that, and this is the second point, is the help that we give each other is the fact that we have we did some serious work when we cut our ties. We cut ties, we just went with just cut all over the place. And we don't even know how or which way we did it. And sometimes I think, so that was one reason why I felt that yes, he's right. We do need each other. Because there's some cutting that we did that we don't even know how we did it, or we don't even know what those relationships meant to us. But we have our ex-brothers and sisters to take their place. So we lost our brothers and sisters, but we gained our brothers and sisters here. It's something like that, you know what I mean? I can't put it down, but because I'm still thinking about it. And like, when I did enter that website that he was talking about, I did feel better, and it did help me with that situation, because then I started thinking. I did think about, well, I had a best friend, you know, Mike Sivers there. I loved him. He was such a close friend, and you know, it's severed. But now I have my ex brothers and sisters to 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 replace the loss. We suffer so many losses, so many we don't even think about it. We know we don't, but now we can say that we didn't lose because we have each other.